Hi everyone! Happy World Card Making Day. I don't know if anyone's out there, but I thought I'd do an impromptu live card making session since it's World Card Making Day, and that's what I'm all about, making cards. So I'll just see if people want to pop in and watch. If you're watching, please leave your name, comment below so I know you're there. We are back from our adventure to the shops for our open house. We have to leave the house every Saturday so people can come in and have a look. Hopefully someone wants to buy it. Yeah, so it's a bit disruptive, but I thought that since I'm having my live party or my online party on my business page, my World Card Making Day sale party, lots of great posts and some games. If you haven't seen them, pop on, leave a comment. There'll be random prizes given out. So yeah, pop on and say hi if you're here. And I've got some great cards to show you. I've got 4 at the moment that we're going to have a look at, and I'm going to run through making them. So showing you how easy they are and featuring some of the amazing sets that are on sale as part of the World Card Making Day sale. So I know there's people out there who don't always think they can make cards and think it's all too hard and too complicated, but I'm going to show you some really simple cards today that you can do with just pattern paper, 1 stamp and 1 ink. I fear one of them uses 2 different color inks, but you could use the one and still get away with it. So I'm actually going to get started and show you a couple of these cards. Now, I'm going to turn you around. You could get dizzy, so hold on. Fingers crossed it works. That's just some of my stamps you can see there. So let me turn you around, and I'm hoping you can see my work surface and it's not all skew-iff. Okay, so now I'm just going to start my feed on my laptop so I can see any comments that come up. So while I'm doing that, you can check out the first card that I'm going to step through and show you how to make. Really easy. Okay, and it uses the Daisy Delight stamp set and the punch that I forgot to get. Hang on a minute, let me grab the punch. These were so popular when they first came out, and they went into back order so quickly because everyone just really fell in love with them and had to have them. So let's get on with making this card. Okay, I have different colors that I'm going to do. So that's just a blue and yellow, and I've used the big daisy stamp and just the thank you sentiment and the punch to punch out the stamped daisies. So I'll just leave that there. Hopefully you can still see that. You'll be able to see that as I'm working. So all we need to do is stamp our daisy, and I'm using Calypso Coral. So on this card you'll see I've stamped Daffodil Delight on Daffodil Delight. This time mixing it up, different colorway. I'm going to use Calypso Coral. Now you see how my stamp is discoloured because I have used it a lot. I did a stamping by mail back in, I think it was May or June. So that's 8 different projects using this stamp set, and it got a workout. And I'm a bit lazy sometimes and I don't clean them straight away. And sometimes I tend to be even lazier and only use baby wipes when I'm in a hurry, which is really bad because you should use our stamping mist because it conditions the stamps as well as cleans them. So there's the first one, and my Calypso Coral may need re-inking. Now I'm taking a risk here as well because I don't have my mat underneath. Photopolymer stamps on some desks that are really like bouncy don't stamp that great, so you need something more solid underneath. When I used to work on those fold-up tables from Bunnings that bounce a bit when you stamp, you don't think they do, but they're heaps flexible, and they don't always get a good image. So I've moved all my stamping gear upstairs to where it used to live while we're selling the house, so it's presentable. And I'm using a more solid, really solid timber desk, so it's not such an issue now. But if I was on one of those Bunnings desks, I'd definitely be putting my Stampin' Pierce mat underneath to give it some strength and some stability. Now, I haven't stamped this close enough to the edge of the cardstock, so I just need to trim off the corner so I can fit it into the punch. Just line it up. And punch. Now, I hold it in place and then I use my heel of my palm to stamp it. So there's one. Here's the other one. Oh, I've done it again. I haven't stamped close enough to the corner. So let's just punch this one out. Alright, there's our second daisy. Now on my card here, you'll see, I don't know if you can see, I'll try and hold up, you can see it, they're like lifted, raised. So you just grab your bone folder, and I do this before I join the two together, and just holding the petal, because if you don't hold the petal like here, you can tear off where it joins here really easily. So you just hold it between your two fingers, and use your bone folder and your thumb to curl the petals up. And you only need to do it once. You don't need to use a lot of force. It's just to break up the fibres a little bit and get those petals curled so it looks more like a proper flower. Okay, one. Okay, now I just use a bit of glue, and I use the liquid glue, the Tombow. That's my go-to. I know Fast Fuse is on sale at the moment. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Fast Fuse. It's great stuff, but I have to be in the right mood to use it. But the special for the Fast Fuse World Card Making Day special at the moment, Fast Fuse is fantastic. Buy a Fast Fuse, get 2 refills for free. So it's definitely worth getting if you're a Fast Fuse fan. Right, now I'm going to do the greeting, and I'm going to do that in Old Olive. And I'm going to stamp more to the right hand side so I can tuck it under the flower a bit. So just ink it up, and it's wanting to fall off my block. Oops. Alright, now use your grid paper. Sorry, is my fat head in the way? I hope not. And you can line your stamp up. Now I haven't got this stamp straight on my block. It is crooked. So you're just going to use the grid lines to line the stamp up. Thank you. And then I've just used my paper snips to do something different at the end. I just sort of angled it. No precise measurements, just a bit of a snip and you're done. Now I do have a card. Oh, there we go, the card. Okay, so all I've done is literally glued the patterned paper on, or the DSP. So this is another one that's on the DSP sale. Buy 3, get the 4th one free. They don't all have to be the same. As long as you buy 3 packs of patterned paper, you'll get the 4th one of your choice free. So that's like, you know, $19.95, $19.25. I know my prices. Free, which is amazing. And then we're just going to cut our little strips. These are 1/4 inch strips, just the same width as our patterned paper. And yes, I'm an inch person, so sorry. You'll have to convert that to centimeters. But I'm definitely something wrong with my glue. It's a bit funky. Okay, that just goes at the top. on the bottom. And you'll see with that Tombow glue, you don't need a lot. You really only need a little bit. Little bit will do ya. Okay. Now, I didn't use dimensionals on the flower because the flower is raised, so just a bit of glue. Stick that on. Hi, Cleta. Glad you could join me. Sorry, I just turned around and looked at the comments. I can't multitask that well. And then our faceted gems, just one in the middle. And I use my paper piercer. Fantastic for doing things like this, lifting them up. And which one do I use? This one, pick one. I just lift them straight off the acetate. Look how easy is that? Done. Then just a bit of glue on the sentiment. Sorry, and my bracelet's really annoying. Those noises normally annoy me, so if they are, let me know. I can take them off. And you're just going to tuck that under the flower. Make sure it's straight. Now, anyone who knows me knows I've got a bit of a crooked eye. So I'll put things together and think it's straight, and then I'll lift it up, look at it, and go, oh, that is so crooked. But there we go. How simple and easy, quick and easy was that. So 2 lovely thank you cards. Can't get much simpler than that. And that's using the Daisy Delight stamp set, which there's lots of other wonderful images in this stamp set. Little daisies, and you can put stamp the centers in the flower, and the gorgeous leaves, and the whole stems of for the flowers as well. So that's just one card using the Delightful Daisy. So I hope you like that one. Okay, another set that is on sale at the moment is Oh So Eclectic. Sorry, I'm just going to take some of these bracelets off because they are annoying me, and I don't want... There we go. Right now, Oh So Eclectic. So this is a really simple card. All I've done is DSP, that's the back of one of the pattern, so it's still DSP, some cardstock, and the 2 stamps. Alright, dead easy. So I'm going to replicate this one exactly. And I'm just using the 2 stamps. So we've got the greeting, oh hello friend, but you could use I like you, missing you, or you're just lovely, and just this stamp here, and basic black ink. So really simple. First step, stamp our flowers. So basic black. And you're just going to randomly, one at the top, one in the middle, one down the bottom. There we go. How easy was that? Oh, hello, friend. Now, here's a tip. When you're stamping a sentiment and it's on the red rubber, so it's clear mount, which means it's red rubber and sticks to our clear acrylic blocks. People think clear mount is actually clear, can see through, but it's not. Clear mount is red rubber, goes on the clear blocks. So you can see through the block to where the stamp is, but you can't actually see the actual stamp itself. You just see the surrounds of the stamp. Photopolymer are the totally clear ones. You can actually see the whole stamp, all the details, and you can see through it to your project. And the other option we have is wood mount, which is these same ones, red rubber, mounted on the foam, but they are permanently stuck to a wooden block, so you don't have to keep changing them on and off your acrylic blocks. Wood mount is great for a lot of people because they don't have to fiddle with getting them to stick to blocks and changing them around. They just open the stamp case, pick up the stamp, and can stamp. So it's a lot quicker and easier. I prefer these only because of storage space, because I have so many sets. I don't have a lot of room to have all the wood mount, and they do take up a little bit more room than the clear mount. So, but anyway, your tip for stamping these, you may think you have that straight on the block. Best way to test it is to line up the bottom of your block with a sheet of your grid, a line on your grid paper, and I'll try to get my fat head in the way, and then stamp. And it looks like I have that pretty well straight, but you may think that you have it straight and it's slightly at an angle, and you go to stamp on your project and you've wrecked it because your sentiment is not straight. So always test on your grid paper to see your alignment. And the same with when you're actually stamping on your project. Use your grid paper as your alignment tool, so you'll get it hopefully stamped straight. Now saying that, you watch me get it crooked. It's straight, yay! Okay, so that's all the stamping on that card. The rest is just gluing the paper down. First step is glue your patterned paper. See, I've just used the reverse of this one to do the sentiments on. I nearly stuck glue to the wrong side then. So just glue the back. Okay, onto your Whisper White cardstock. This is an actually eclectic DSP, which is also part of the DSP sale at the moment. Alright, and next I'm going to cut the little tails into these two pieces, Peekaboo Peach and Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. And I just picked two colours that are featured in this DSP. To cut your tail the easiest way, straight up the middle, just a little bit, and then from each corner to the end of that cut that you've just done. And there you have a tail. Now you can have different pointiness to your tails, I guess is the word. Depends on how deep that middle cut is that you do, will determine how pointy your tail ends are. And now I'm just going to place this piece on here, sort of in the middle, so I get an idea of where to put these pieces. So about there, so I'll do roughly at the top of that arrow there, and then the other one on top. So that gives me a placement. A bit of glue on the back. So you don't need a lot of glue, like I said before. I think it was about there, wasn't it? Make sure it's straight. This could be tricky for me. Alright, straight enough. And then Peekaboo Peach. Over the top, overlap it a little bit and just pull it back a little bit so they're not lined up perfectly. Just gives a bit more detail. Okay, glue that down. And then you could put dimensionals on this piece to put it over the top and raise it a little bit, but I just thought, no, I'm going to keep them simple. Just whack the glue on the back. Okay, straight over the top. Make sure it's sort of centered on the card front. And there you go. There is another card, done and dusted. This actually, like different paper and a different stamp, would be a great Christmas card that you could pump out in bulk, this design. So you just got your patterned paper, simple stamped image in the middle, and a couple of cardstock pieces, and there's a quick and easy card. Your friends will think you're amazing if you send them something like that. So that's it. Oh so eclectic, really simple, naturally eclectic DSP. 2 down. I have 2 more for this session. And the next one, using Graceful Garden. Let me just grab it. Alright, so using the Graceful Garden stamp set, which is beautiful, and the Petal Garden DSP. It's a 6x6 inch paper stack, and it is absolutely gorgeous. That's what this paper is. Beautiful, beautiful flowers. I'm a sucker for flowers, so anything with flowers is a yes please, no brainer for me. Has to jump into my shopping cart. Right, let's do this one. I'm going to change the papers on this one. Alright, still from the same paper stack, but I'm just going to use a different colour. And you'll notice when I was saying before about some of the stamps on bouncy desks don't stamp properly, this one was done on that other desk I was telling you about. And even though this is a clear mount, so it's a red rubber stamp, it still didn't stamp quite properly in the middle. So you have to be really mindful of your work surface. And I'm not going to take any chances with this one. I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat underneath. So I think this is like $8 or something in the catalogue. It is brilliant for any stamps that you think aren't going to stamp properly. I have the stamp somewhere, found it. Alright, so for this one, all I've done is put the patterned paper on, the strip of paper next to it, stamp the image on there first, stamp the sentiment, added the bow and a couple of rhinestones. So, and again, another really simple card. So let's ink this flower up. I love this rose, it's just beautiful. And with big stamps like this, I tend to ink them ink pad onto stamp rather than stamp onto ink pad, because then I can see that I have it all covered and I haven't missed any. And you see I also did like a little swipe to start with, just gives it a base coating, which I like to do for bigger stamps, especially when I'm using black, because it's really obvious if you don't hit all the spots and you miss some. So that just makes sure that at least it all has some covering. And with big ones like this, I tend to turn sideways. Don't know, that's just how my brain works. And I'll stamp it towards the top. Hopefully it's in the middle. Just give it a press. Ignore my dirty blocks. I'm sorry, I haven't cleaned them for a while. I said I'm lazy. It's like I just got to get onto the next stamping project. I just don't have time to clean. It's terrible. Okay, there we have one rose. How pretty is that? That's just gorgeous. Then the sentiment, I adore you. You can put any sentiment on a card like this. I guess it doesn't have to be what comes in the stamp set. I'm just using what's in there. Again, let's stamp test this. Make sure it's straight. Wow, I'm on a roll today with put me stamps on straight. Okay, down the bottom, line up. Fingers crossed. Ah, look what I did there. See what happens? I have pressed too hard into my ink pad, or I've pressed too hard when I've stamped it. And when you do that, you will get these edges have ink on them. Okay, so don't do what I just did. Make sure if you do get ink around there, clean it off before you stamp, because you'll end up with pieces like that. But that's no major drama, because I'm going to fix that. But first, we're going to glue these pieces on. So look at this paper, it's just stunning. Alright, so we're going to glue the little strip on. Okay, just down the edge. I always keep a little border, and usually my measurements are like, when I do a whole piece, like on this card, my DSP measures 4 inches by 5 3/4. Okay, so, and I've got like a 1/8 inch edge all the way around. So I just eyeball the same here, and I was talking and I'll let that dry a little bit, but anyway. Okay, so there's that. We now put on our, look at that, that's beautiful. I love this paper. I'm just going to get more. It's on part of the sale, DSP sale, so no excuse, I need to get some more. Okay, put our stamped bit on. And just be mindful when you stamp first and then glue the paper on. So try not to wipe across the surface too much in case the ink is not quite dry, because then you'll get a smudge mark. Right, now, are you ready to have a good laugh? I'm going to try and tie a bow. I am the world's worst bow tire. And I need like a mile of ribbon to tie the tiniest bow. It's just ridiculous. But look, that may have worked. Whoa, look at that. Oops, no, hang on. I speak too soon. Alright. It sort of worked. We sort of, a bit of a wonky bow on this, loop on this side. But anyway, we'll see. That, yeah. Does that look like the other one? Not really, but it'll do. Okay. So now, to glue that on, I use glue dots. These come in a roll, and there's always a sheet on top protecting the glue dots. And they're hard, and they're really hard to see. But for something small like this, normally you would attach the item to the glue dot, pull it off, the glue dot comes with it. But this is too big for the back of my bow. So I just use my pokey tool, as I call it, my paper piercing tool, and I'll fold it into like a little ball, okay? Then I stick it to the back of my bow. And then onto my project. And just trim the tails of the bow. Make them even. There we go. Right, now I'm going to cover these two bits and I'm going to use my faceted gem. See, on this one I've just used our basic rhinestones, but because I have bigger areas here, I'm going to cheat. And this is what you do to hide any mistakes. You don't tell people, you just go, yeah, that's the design that was meant to be there. So one of them there, I think a smaller one to cover that, otherwise it might be too much bling. And then another smaller one up there, that might be too much bling. Okay, there we go. So I've covered my mistake. No one's going to know. See how easy it is? There's no such thing as mistakes. There's just an opportunity for embellishment, which is what I've just done. So there you go. Two different versions of that card. Basically the same, just different paper and a few different embellishments to cover my mistake. Simple, easy. People will think you're amazing if you give them a card like that. Again, using Graceful Garden, which is 15% off until the 10th of October. So it's only till Tuesday. You can get those stamp sets at 15% off. So it's not a long sale. Last one. Okay, I have left the simplest to last. Yes, Marlene, I just saw your comment. No, you're not the only one who can't tie a bow. I am the world's worst bow tire. Seriously. And I don't know why, but I tend to use a lot of bows. I just sucker for punishment, I guess. Alright, the last one I've got for this video. I might do another one later. I've got some more cards I can show you. Lots of love. This is the stamp set and the whole lot of lovely DSP. Let me just grab that DSP because it is absolutely stunning. Sorry, I didn't have it out. Here we go. I've used mine a bit, as you can see. That is so pretty. Alright, and normally when they have like a pattern like that, quite a busy pattern, they'll have something like generic on the back, like a plain pattern, a check or a stripe or a small pattern or something. So this is the black and white on the back of that. This is the one I've used for this card. Little, what are they? Apricots, I guess? Oranges, mandarins, something like that. And that looks like a fireworks, but those, I don't know what they're called, those dandelion type of flowers on the back. What else? We have this Blushing Bride pretty pattern with a nice green leaf pattern on the back, or white leaf on green. Blue floral with a nice green stripe on the back. Then a pink Blushing Bride polka dots, or big dots, like the black and white ones, but just reverse. And a gorgeous little blue floral print on the back. I can't talk this afternoon. Print on the back. And this is my favourite. I actually bought this packet of paper for this one pattern because I just love it. That is stunning. Pink, no, not pink, peekaboo peach floral with all that greenery on a black background just makes it pop. Amazing. And then a nice multicoloured stripe on the back. So anyway, that's that whole lot of lovely paper. Just beautiful. So again, florals have to go on my cart. But this one, this is the simplest card that you can do. I'm going to show you a different version. And I'm using that black background with the florals on it. And obviously I can't stamp a big greeting. Like I've done this one straight onto the patterned paper. I can't do that on here, it'll get lost. So I have cut a oval to put that sentiment on. And I'm hoping that I can get it onto the oval, but I'm hedging my bets, so I cut two. Yeah, because you just never know. You know, it's like live television. Things always going to go wrong. And that should fit on there, I'm hoping. Let's see, hey? I didn't test it, as you can tell. I went, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try that. I like that paper. I want to use that paper. So again, I've just used basic black. A large stamp, so I like to ink it up. Ink pad to stamp. And it looks like it's got a lot of ink in it. And it doesn't matter to me if this one goes a little bit crooked. So I'm not going to test it on the scrap paper first. I'm just going to hope everyone's got everything crossed. Hoping this fits. Here we go. Ready? And oh, look at that. It just fits. Bonus. So while that's drying, oops, I can't even pick it up. I will stick this paper on. And this one's a landscape card, so I tend to do these every so often. So you like to have different orientations. Alright, paper's on. So this one is the simplest card you could ever make. Stamp your sentiment onto your pattern paper, add a bow. You don't even have to add a bow if you didn't want to. And that's it, card done. This one, I'm not going to put that on dimensionals. I could, but I'm just going to keep it flat for now. So put our oval on, and the ink is still wet. I can see it glistening. So hopefully that's in the middle. So I'll very gingerly sit that down. And then a trick I use quite a lot if the ink is still wet, because I'm an impatient stamper. I just got to get things done, so I can't wait for ink to dry. So turn it over, and then I rub it from the back. If any ink is still left, it won't smudge because the card's not moving, but the item I'm trying to stick down will stick now, and I won't end up with smudging my ink, and none came off, so that's good. And here we go again. I'm going to tie a bow. This ribbon, oh, it's absolutely divine. It's so easy and soft, easy to work with. It is so soft. And I can make half decent bows most of the time, maybe. That one didn't work. Wait, I'm not giving up yet. Hang on. You know, I've had people try and teach me how to do bows. You do the other way around. So you do like a left loop first, and then you do the right loop, and so I just can't get it. And like I said, I'm really impatient, so it's like, yeah, this works for me sometimes. If not, I just ditch the bow and do a knot. So you can tell on my projects when I've got fed up trying to do a bow, because it'll just be a knot where you think there should be a bow. But it works. There we go. That's not too bad. So I will stick that there, so it doesn't cover the sentiment, but it's just a little bit of detail. So the back of this one is probably big enough for a glue dot. So we'll just stick that to the glue dot, pull it off, the glue dots come with it, and then just keep your paper over the top of your glue dots. I've had people come to class and they've taken the whole strip off thinking there's nothing there, and they've exposed like a whole roll of glue dots, which I've then have stuck to everything that's touched it. So just keep the paper over the top, and then what I do is like I just know where that glue dot is, and then I'll tear it off a little bit down here so I don't have this massive empty tail everywhere. So then I know my next glue dot is just a little bit under there. Anyway, today's useful tip. And now we're going to stick this on. Okay, cut our tails. And there we have another card done. So how quick and easy were they? So that was using the Lots of Love. Again, floral, had to have. So let me try and pull in all the cards we've just done. And I don't know, how long was that? 15 minutes or so? I don't know. I can talk for ages, so who knows how long I was doing this for. And I don't think they're all going to fit. And this one. So in that amount of time we've done all those cards. Quick and easy, simple cards. Card making doesn't have to be hard or complicated or fancy. And I think they're a pretty good mix of cards, from the really simple to the more detailed ones. Are going to take a little bit longer. But there we go. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. So I hope you've liked that and you've learnt some tips along the way. And I'm going to try and turn you around now without disconnecting. Making the camera go strange. Wait a minute, I'll turn you around. And am I back? No. Great. There you go, I'm back. Oh, sorry, I've got my glasses on because I'm blind without them. I can't see what I'm doing. I know I can't see comments if I take them off. Thank you, Marlene. I'm glad you liked them. And thank you for dropping by. It's wonderful to have people jump on and watch me make some cards. So I'm going to do some more. I've got 4 more cards that I'm going to do live later on. Might just go and grab a cuppa now and then be back in a little while with some others. So thank you for watching, and don't forget the World Card Making Day party is still happening till about 10 o'clock tonight. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the stamps that are on sale, they are only available till Tuesday at that 15% off. So, thank you for the love heart. Oh, so sweet. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again later. Thank you, Annie. I'm glad you liked it. I'll be back for more. So see you later. Bye.